All right, so you know they make projectors for watching movies. They make projectors for those fancy business meetings that you always see people sitting around tables in. But this projector is made for a golf simulator. So let's take a look at it. So this projector is made by BenQ. Now I currently use a BenQ projector in my sim room. I use a LW500ST, I think. And if I said that wrong, I'll put the right one right here. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And this is an LW500ST. And the two major differences between this projector and my current projector is this projector has an LED light inside instead of the old school projectors, which use bulbs. And if you've ever heard of anybody that's had a problem with projector, normally the bulb goes out, right? So this projector is supposed to last anywhere from 20 to 30,000 hours. Now the lumens for it says it's around 2,000. Now my current projector's lumen says it's around 3,000, maybe 3,200, something like that. But we're going to do a side-by-side test to see if it really matters. Now the first thing I noticed when I opened this box was the back of the projector. I've used a few different projectors over the years, and I've noticed on this projector, the back's not full of a bunch of junk that you're never going to use. I noticed with my one that I currently use and every one that I've ever had before, there's like 50 different ports for 50 different things that I've never even seen a plug for. So they definitely lowered everything down to the bare minimum here of what you would need. Nowadays, just an HDMI cable is really all you need. So there's two on here for HDMI. There's an audio out if you would happen to have the same similar system where your audio runs to another speaker like mine currently does. So you can use the audio out for that. Like I said, two HDMIs. You get a 1.5 amp USB, so that could be good depending on your setup. You might be able to charge a phone. And then a regular VGA over here input. So it's got everything that you would need nowadays. If I look up there and take a picture of the back of that one, you're going to see it's just like AV ports and all kinds of stuff that is an overkill for what I'm really using it for. I only have two plugs running into it, 3 if you count the power, and it's perfectly fine for mine. So this is a lot. Hopefully this reduces costs by just breaking it down to the bare minimum, and maybe they can sell these for a little bit cheaper and save some money in the long run. So let's take a look at what it looks like on the screen. And it's got a remote. Now the reason it's over at the side is because that's how I have it inside of my inflatable simulator, which if you haven't seen, I'll throw up a picture right here. Okay, now that you've seen it, back to me. All right, so first off, we're going to look at setting this projector up for this screen. Now the first thing I noticed is my projector, which is the 632ST, is 12 feet from the screen, and it will fill that entire screen, which is about 14.5 feet by 10 feet, give or take a couple inches. This one is setting at about 12.5, 13 feet off to the side, and that's as big as I can get the image to be. Now, that would be probably, we'll call it 10 feet, 11 feet, something like that, is what that's projecting right now. So the throw differences between this one and my current one seem to be a little bit different, but maybe this will work for you. So first thing we're going to do is go into the menu, and hopefully you can see some of that. You probably can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the lights off just to make that show up a whole lot more. 1 second. All right, so I turned the lights down. They're not necessarily off, but they're very low in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit menu, and then I'm going to hit over into test pattern. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a little bit of a grid, so we can try to make the grid match with the screen. As you can tell, the right side looks like it's lower than the left side. So what we want to do is straighten that up. So what we got to do is come back out of the test pattern into corner fit, and then we will move the right corner up. We won't be able to move the left corner down, but we'll be able to move the right corner up. So we're going to click over to the bottom right corner. We're going to click on it and shift this a little bit until it gets back to what looks like level. And then we'll go back again, and we'll come up to the top, We'll move it in just a little bit to the left and probably take it down some too. And what I'm trying to do is just mainly get a square shape, rectangular shape up there instead of having something askew. So let's go back again, come down to this corner, move it in just a little bit. Okay, we're going to call that done. Okay, so let's get out of the test pattern. That should put us back into our regular screen. Now let's hit menu. And let's go see what we have here option-wise. So in picture mode, we have presentation mode, which I guess is if you were using this for a business or something, you'd want a presentation. That's what that's for. You come over and go over to golf mode. So they have an actual mode built into the projector for settings that are supposed to be good for golf simulator software. We'll take a look at that and see. We also have sRGB. Don't know what that, I mean, I know what it stands for, but I don't know how it's going to help. Video mode, apparently it does something if you're watching videos. User 1, user 2, and bright mode. Basically, pick whichever one looks the best to you. And you can adjust the brightness, contrast if need be, but we'll go back to display. And then we can change our aspect ratio, but we can do that just from the remote too by hitting aspect, or you can do it from inside of here. It has a 2D keystone, and so we can mess with that a little bit. So if we want to see, we can move this corner like that. Similar to what we did with the corner fit, but you can see that you can tweak it to make it fit however you need it to fit based on where you mount your projector. Your projector doesn't always have to be in the ceiling right above you. Now, obviously, this projector's off to the right. A left-handed person couldn't come in here and stand and swing without the projector being in their way. So, if you just build your sim room just for you, and you're just right-handed, who cares what's over there? So, leave the projector there if you want to. So now let's pull up GS Pro and see what it looks like. This would be half lit. So let's go all the way off. All right, so that's all the way off. Now, I can say, that looks pretty good. Now, I don't have a 4K projector to know what looks very, very good, but that's perfectly fine with me. I don't see any problem with that. So, all right, I'm happy with that. However, this room is completely closed off with zero light getting in other than these two monitors over here and the projector. So, depending on your setup, that might be hard to come across. Now let's go with lights all the way on. All right, so this is lights all the way on. You can still see the image. It isn't bad. I would give it like a 7 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10, something like that. It's not a bad image. So I'm impressed. It looks all right. So now let's adjust the picture mode with an actual course pulled up and see if anything looks better or worse. I like the video mode. Well, user 1, user 2, bright, presentation, there's golf. I'm not necessarily saying golf looks the best. Maybe that's me. I've been known to be called partially colorblind too. So take that for what you will. And let's go back to lights half on, because I think that's more similar to what most people would be using. All right, so we're at number 7 at Pebble Beach. I got the control box hooked up so we can kind of look around the screen a little bit and try to see just how the graphics and how everything looks with the projector. Now, obviously, you're looking through this through a phone. So your colors and all that's going to be a little bit different than what I'm seeing here. So there's only so much I can do about that. So you'll have to take that into consideration on what the image looks like. It's going to look better here to me than it is to you looking through the camera, I'm sure. So let's take a little look around and see. So let's zoom in there. You can see we can move around. I'd like to see that move faster. That's one thing I had some people ask me about with GS Pro. there's a way to make that move faster, and there's not yet. So we'll see about that. But anyway, graphics wise, it looks good. I don't see any problems with anything. Looks fine. It could be a little bit brighter, I guess, but depending on what you're going for, maybe it'll work perfect for you. So, all right, so I'm going to turn on my projector that I currently use now, and then we'll compare the shots side by side. We'll do the same 3 light functions with lights on, kind of like a half light, and then lights all the way off, and we'll see if we can see much of a difference in the quality. So 1 second, let me get that all rewired and fixed back up, and then we'll be back right here. So hang on. All right, so this is my LW500ST that is mounted 12 feet from the screen. So about the same distance as what the LW500ST was mounted at. But as you can see, there seems to be a brightness difference. I can definitely tell the room feels a lot brighter to me. It fills the whole screen more. So that may be something to consider. So let's check with the lights halfway on. Well, they are halfway on right now. Let's check with the lights off and with the lights all the way on. All right, so this is the lights all the way on. It's still pretty bright. I was thinking maybe the 2000 lumens wouldn't have made a big deal, but it seems like the difference between the 3000 and the 2000 is 33% better. Okay, so I'm just a shadow now, but that is with the lights all the way off. And as you can tell, that seems pretty bright. Now, let's take a little zoom in and see. I think the picture quality seems to be a little bit better with the 632 than the 500 ST. Now, one thing to take into consideration, though, is they are 2 different types of light bulbs. One's an actual bulb, and one is an LED light. So they're not going to be exactly the same. But depending on your setup, the LW500ST could be great for you. I'm going to turn the lights halfway back on because I feel like I'm a creep in the corner talking to you in the shadows. Hang on. All right, much better. So yes, this is still the 632ST, and here in a second we'll go back to the 500ST and maybe play a couple holes or a couple shots just to see how it acts and how it moves and all that, and see if it acts any different than this one. So let's get all that set up. So 1 second. All right, so this is still the 632ST. Let's just hit 3 balls, and then we'll hit 3 balls going back to the 500ST. So here we go. Oh, I crushed it. I didn't pay attention to see how far I was. Oh, it's only 70 yards. I'm definitely not disappointed in my 632. I don't have any problems with it whatsoever. All right, so now let's hook the other one back up. I'm getting ready to turn on the 500ST. Now, if you've ever had any other projector, you would know it probably takes, depending on the projector, I'm sure, but mine takes maybe a good 30-40 seconds, it feels like, to get like all the way lit up to where it's in full brightness. So let's see how long it takes the 500ST thing here. Hang on. Okay, just push power, so let's see. It looks like it's already done. Huh. So we should see the software switch back. Hang on. All right, so now we got the 500ST running. Seemed like it only took 6, 7, 8 seconds or so to get in full brightness, so that's cool. So let's hit a couple balls. The image seems pretty good. I definitely feel like the 632ST is a lot brighter. The image quality seems a little bit more clear. The 500ST isn't a bad projector. If I had started with that projector and it would have fit the screen size that I needed, it would have worked out fine for me. So it's kind of like you don't know what you're missing if you've never really seen it. So I feel a little biased in saying that the 632 seems better, but the 632 seems brighter to me. It says it has more lumens, so technically I guess it's brighter, and it feels brighter to me. So this projector is not a bad projector. It's just a different projector. So if you're looking for a projector with an LED bulb that'll last a long time, LW500ST by BenQ. It's a good projector, just a different projector. I'm gonna hit one close. All right, I gotta aim.